Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Melissa and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Wow, it looks really so I got a new phone. Uh my old phone cracked, both the rear facing camera or whatever, the other facing camera and the front facing, it fell, it hit the cartwheel, and so now I'm seeing I'm doing videos with my new phone, which is slightly larger, and it feels like it takes in a whole lot more space than the old one did. So it looks really weird. Anyways, I digress. Um, Today's tip for frugal living is to find a mundane Zen activity. I remember we have a family friend, and my parents, I remember he came over, and the pool was a mess, and I was no longer living at the house. I was an adult, and my siblings were in sports and everything, and my dad was working extra hours, and my mom had just gotten out of the hospital or something. And I was like, oh, it's so nice that you've come over and helped clean the pool. And apparently, it was his Zen activity. He liked the feeling of being in the water and seeing the floor get cleaned as he slowly vacuumed it, and the motion and everything. My weird activity is actually seam ripping. So for those of you who don't know, I lost a significant amount of weight, and so none of my pajamas really fit anymore. Even the pajamas I altered are too big. So I have just been sitting there. And during the day, I sit on my chair and have the sunlight come in the window. And then at night, I'll turn on like a little light. And I just very carefully, I mean, it's very monotonous. It's nothing. If you've ever seen seam ripping, and oh my gosh, this is kind of challenging with these pants. I mean, maybe it always is, but because it's like red on red, or uh, the last one was like cream on cream. The one before was super easy. It was like black on green. It was like the band was white, the pants were green, and the thread was black. So it was like really easy to do because you could see it. But this, you can see like the red on the white, but you can't see it there. Anyways, why find a monotonous activity that you enjoy and can do and can so nowadays everybody feels like they need to be doing something. We're all so easily bored, and we really shouldn't be so bored all of the time. Um, or maybe we should be. I mean, maybe being bored is good. I don't quite know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but we no longer find the joy in monotonous activities. We no longer can just sit and be with ourselves. We can no longer, I mean, I can do this and not really think about it. It's just something to kind of do with my hands. It's I mean, I have to be careful to some extent. I mean, otherwise I'm going to stab myself. I don't know if you can see this. It's like a little pointy end. I'll stab my finger and get hurt. I mean, I don't see a trip to the hospital or anything from it, but if you've ever been pricked by a needle or something like that, then you kind of get it. But so and I see these women knitting as they protest, and I can't remember what it's called, like knitting for, I can't remember, but they just look so peaceful as they're sitting there. They're just sitting on the sidewalk knitting with their signs or whatever, and they're okay with that. And sometimes, I mean, we're just not okay with normal monotonous things anymore, and I don't know what happened to society to make us that way. I mean, I can sit there and I can daydream. I can like sit in a space and like I can't sit still. Like I'm still gonna be moving and wiggling, whatever. But that's this, I mean, that's just me, especially like with my back. But I can sit and like daydream for hours and like entertain myself with my own thoughts. And I don't need a screen to do that. Sometimes I will sometimes I'll turn on the TV or something just for background noise. But like on a night like tonight where you can hear the sounds by the lake, the insects chirping and such, I can just listen to that for background noise and be happy. But we don't do any of these monotonous things anymore. We are just too busy for them or whatever. But I would like to argue that we are not too busy for these monotonous tasks. We like to think that we're too busy and important for them, but we're really not. Um, we easily could move stuff around in our schedule, okay? So you want to listen to a podcast, or, I mean, how many people watch a podcast on YouTube? I mean, honestly, if you're watching me right now I'm not doing necessarily anything incredibly active. You could be listening to me and doing something incredibly monotonous. And that would be okay. I would not be offended. I mean, if you want to sit there and take up your knitting, your crocheting, your sewing, your whittling, whatever it is, like something small, we should be doing these things. I don't know, darn your socks. I have no idea how to darn socks. Learn to tat. Tatting, that's like a lost art. My great grandma used to tat. But there's any number of absolutely monotonous things that you can do. And if you can learn to be happy with the monotony of life, then you can gradually start to slow down your life little bit by little bit. And you can start to take away all of the extra that you really don't need, that is pulling your attention away from things that it should be on, or that is actually taking away from your life. Because I really think that there's a lot of things out there in the world today that take away from the important things. I mean, the number of times I remember when my kid was little. My kid's a teenager. My kid is almost an adult. Can't believe I'm gonna have an adult soon. And I remember when they were little and would be at the playground. So we are talking like 15 years ago. And there would always be like a kid who would get caught on the monkey bars or stuck on something, whatever. And inevitably, I was the mom who was there with my kids, so I would help them off the monkey bars or help them get unstuck or make sure they weren't hurt. And these kids, they were always polite and sweet. Or if they were hurt, I would help them find their mom. But the thing is that the crazy thing is I had to help them find their adult, because their adult was too busy looking at their phone. I didn't get a smartphone until my kid was like 5 or 6, and it was only because I had to switch carriers, and then like it was the free phone. And if I wanted to stick with a non-smartphone, then it would have cost me a lot of money. So, but the number of people I see just going by and not paying attention, like I do Shipt. So if you see me in a store, I'm frequently looking at my phone because I am scanning items, I am getting the information, I am shopping for other people, and I am trying to do it in a time efficient manner so I make more money. And so a lot of the time I'll be like, oh, there's somebody else doing Shipt or Instacart or something, and I'll look and they're not. They're watching a TikTok as they go through the grocery store. So I feel like so many people are just so busy trying to always do so much, and it's taking away from what's important. And when you are always trying to do so much of what's not important, then you're wasting valuable time, you're wasting valuable money, you're wasting valuable resources. Because you know, if you spend an hour watching TikTok, that's an hour you can't get back. And I know that's ironic because you're sitting here watching me on YouTube. But I feel like so many people watch TikTok for hours, not an hour a day, but hours on end. And it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of short form content. I mean, not that I never watch it, but from a moral standpoint, I guess. I mean, I even have some shorts out there. It's frustrating to me that the world has gotten to that because we have no attention span left. And I'm the girl who already had a short attention span. So yeah, find something monotonous to kind of do and allow your life to slow down. Let yourself be bored and let yourself find that peace in the monotony. Because once you find that peace in the monotony, you're not going to be constantly trying to do the next best thing or experience the next best thing or watching other people do these great things and trying to then copy, imitate, mimic them. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.